I never imagined he'd go this far. Brandon was 24, a grown man, but he'd moved back into the house 6 months ago after losing his job. I was patient at first, encouraging him to get back on his feet, but something about having him around felt unsettling. It wasn't just the way he looked at me sometimes. Too long, too hard, like he was sizing me up. It wasn't even the late nights when I'd hear him pacing upstairs, his footsteps echoing in the quiet house. It was something deeper, something I couldn't put my finger on. The first real incident happened on a Tuesday. I came home from work to find the front door unlocked. Inside, the house was eerily quiet, though I knew Brandon was supposed to be home. "Brandon," I called. No response. I walked into the living room and stopped short. My wedding photo, the one of me and his father, laughing under the oak tree in the backyard, was lying face down on the coffee table. The glass was cracked, a jagged line running straight through my face. My stomach sank. "Brandon?" I called again, louder this time. He appeared at the top of the stairs, his face calm, almost blank. "You're home early," he said. I pointed to the photo. "What happened to this?" He shrugged. "Guess it fell." "It didn't fall," I said, my voice sharper than I intended. "It looks like someone smashed it." He didn't answer. Instead, he descended the stairs slowly, his gaze never leaving mine. He walked past me, picked up the photo, and turned it over in his hands. "You don't like how I put it back?" he asked, his tone dripping with something I couldn't quite place. Before I could respond, he placed the frame carefully back on the coffee table and walked into the kitchen, leaving me standing there, my heart racing. After that, little things started happening. My toothbrush went missing one morning, only to appear in the garage 3 days later. The kitchen cabinet doors were left open when I swore I'd closed them. And twice the thermostat was set to freezing temperatures in the middle of the night, even though I was certain I hadn't touched it. When I asked Brandon about any of it, he just smiled, that same unreadable smile. "You're imagining things," he said. But I wasn't. The final straw came one Friday evening. My husband was out of town for work, and I was alone in the house with Brandon. I'd just settled in for the night when I noticed my phone was missing. I checked everywhere, my purse, the kitchen, the couch cushions, but it was gone. Finally, I gave up and went to bed, figuring I'd left it in my car. At 1:47 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps outside my bedroom door. My heart leapt into my throat as I lay there, listening. The steps were slow, deliberate, and they stopped right outside my room. "Brandon?" I called, my voice shaky. No answer. I grabbed my bedside lamp and crept toward the door, my pulse pounding in my ears. When I opened it, the hallway was empty. But then I saw it. My phone was lying on the floor, just outside my door, the screen glowing with an open text message. It was addressed to me, but the sender was unknown. The message read, "Are you awake?" I spun around, my breath catching, and found Brandon standing at the end of the hallway, his hands in his pockets, watching me. "What are you doing?" I asked, clutching the lamp like a weapon. He tilted his head, his expression unreadable. "Just making sure you're okay." "Why do you have my phone?" "I don't," he said, his voice calm. He gestured to the phone on the floor as if to prove his point. My hands trembled as I picked it up, staring at the text. "I think you're tired," Brandon said, taking a step closer. "I think you need to leave," I snapped, my voice shaking. His face darkened just for a moment. Then he smiled, a slow, deliberate smile that sent a chill down my spine. "I live here," he said softly. "Remember?" The next morning, I packed a bag and left to stay with a friend. I told my husband everything, but he brushed it off as paranoia. "Brandon's been through a lot," he said. "You're reading too much into this." But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. And now, every time I come home, I wonder, what will he do next?